A few weeks ago, I was doing some research online, and it led me to a very peculiar listing on Amazon. I saw this Nausicaa soundtrack by Joe Hisiashi that I'd never seen before. And what was weirder yet was, I wasn't on Amazon.com. I was on Amazon.it. So let's get into the unwrapping, as it were, of this series of CDs from Wasabi Records. I've purchased 7 of them, as I mentioned in the introduction. I'm going to show you, even though I've unwrapped them already, I'm going to show you what they're like and show them off a little bit to you. So to start, as you can see, we have Nausicaa. And this is the one that actually caught my eye as I was doing a search and came across this listing, interestingly enough, at Amazon.it, Italy's Amazon. And I saw that cover and I was like, hello, I've not seen that before. I've never seen this Studio Ghibli classic series before. And so I was quite intrigued. And so this was the first one that caught my eye. And it happens to be the first collaboration between composer Joe Hisiashi and Hayao Miyazaki, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which is certainly one of my favorite of Miyazaki's feature animated films. And it was released in 1984, and wonderful, wonderful score. So let me just show you the 7 that I have, and then we'll come back to looking at some of the detail. So that's Nausicaa, Castle of the Sky, Laputa, which was released in 1986. Again, Joe Hisiashi is composer. And one of many people's favorite works from Miyazaki, My Neighbor Totoro, which was released in 1988. And Kiki's Delivery Service, which was released in 1989. Again, Joe Hisiashi. Interestingly enough, there's supposedly a live-action version of this in the works in Japan right now. Next up, Porco Rosso. This I haven't seen in a very, very, very long time. This was their 5th collaboration, Joe Hisiashi and Hayao Miyazaki, in 1992. And then my favorite all-time Miyazaki film, Princess Mononoke. Again, Joe Hisiashi. Original score, I don't think he's ever done one better than this. And then next up is Spirited Away, another favorite from Miyazaki and Joe Hisiashi. All of these are part of the Studio Ghibli Classics series being produced by Wasabi Records. Interestingly enough, Ponyo was not there at Amazon.it anyway, and so I didn't pick it up. Had they had it, I would have purchased it. Now, some of these I already actually own in earlier releases, like the Princess Mononoke release by Milan, which was, I think, back in 97 they released that. But the packaging was so nice and so eye-catching that I just had to have them. And I could not find them anywhere in the US. I couldn't find them on any of the Asian or Japanese online stores. Apparently, these are available in Europe, across Europe. I think the UK might have them. I'm going to try to put links, if I can find links to Amazon UK listings for these, I'll put them in the description. Or you'll find links to the Amazon.it, Italy's Amazon, because that's where I purchased these. Yes, it was a little costly, shipping and all of that, but I just had to have them because they look so nice. And some of these I don't own, and some are kind of hard to find. If you look for these, the original releases on Amazon and elsewhere, you're paying sometimes 30, sometimes $40 for those. Not cheap. And these are all English versions of, and when I say English versions, I mean the packaging of the original Japanese releases of each of these scores. And so let's take a closer look. We'll use Nausicaa as the sample. All of them are digipack releases, and they have these nice slip cases around them, fairly substantial weight slip cases, and you have the track listings on the back. Of course, the artwork is just great all throughout. They're just and you'll see the whole series follows the same pattern of design, which makes them a series. You will see in some of them, each of them. Let me just back up. This one, as you can see, has its own art once you slide the slipcase off. They're all built the same way, the Digipack design. The CD tucked into the plastic mold, and then they each have liner notes, which is awesome, and beautifully designed liner notes as well. And this for Nausicaa, you can see the track listing once again and artwork from the film. This has a brief write-up about the film itself, but each of the liner notes are a little bit different. Some have write-ups about the film. This one has a studio diary, and you'll find several of those other releases in this series that have these studio diaries, kind of selecting certain days during the production of the score, the composing of the score, the meetings that Joe Hisiashi had with Miyazaki and the producers, and chronicling some of that. Very interesting. I'm assuming it's probably the translation of the liner notes that were found in the original Japanese versions of these, and then the back of the liner notes. So I'm not going to spend too much time going through each one of these in detail. I just wanted to kind of give you an overall view of what these come with. And like I said, they're beautifully designed, beautiful packaging, and that alone made it worth it for me as a kind of a collector type person to want these. And so I highly recommend that you do. In Castle of the Sky, I don't think there was anything out of the ordinary. What you do find in some of these, most of them actually, is you will find lyrics to the very famous songs. At one or two of the songs that are used in the film, you'll find the English translated lyrics there, which is always nice. I've only been able to listen to Nausicaa so far. It's just so good to just listen to it on CD. The fidelity is quite good, and very enjoyable, even though I believe it's the original recording, which was obviously 30 years ago. Man, 1984, 30 years ago it was released. So you will find occasionally something unique in one or the other releases. Maybe I will just go through all these. It's not going to take all that long. So if you'll bear with me, I will give you a peek into all of these releases that are available so far. And of course, My Neighbor Totoro. We'll have a look at the beautiful artwork. And interesting that they chose that picture. It's a very important scene in the film. Controversial one. Some interesting rumors and conspiracy theories, if you want to call them that have gone about this film, and this particular still has a lot to do with it. If you know the rumors, you know what I'm talking about. If not, Google it. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and I think you'll find it interesting. So My Neighbor Totoro has the track listing once again. Here's something unique from these. You have an interview with Joe Hisiashi, conducted by, I'm not sure, let's see, maybe it continues and we can see later. Again, probably what was in the original soundtrack release, Japanese release. No, it doesn't say who conducted the interview. Anyway, and then you get a write-up about the film itself, and of course the famous ending theme, Tonari no Totoro, and the translated lyrics. So that's the My Neighbor Totoro release. And up next in the series, going chronologically, is of course Kiki's delivery service. So let's have a look there at the packaging and the liner notes. Again, following the same pattern with the with the track listing, and then the studio diary, and And then we get the lyrics in English. Message left in lipstick and wrapped in gentleness. And all again with really wonderful art. Really well laid out. Very, very nicely designed packages. Digipacks, of course, not going to endure as much bouncing around as your typical jewel case, although those crack quite often in shipping. But I won't be bumping these around too much. Won't be handling these that much because they just look great and I hope they last. Okay, Porco Rosso, one I haven't seen in many, many, many years. But again, just beautiful art. Each one pretty distinct in its design. Color-wise, like most of them have a kind of a blue theme to it, to the packaging, as the ones we looked at already. This one's distinctively red, so it really stands out. Again, liner, track listing, a brief article, 2 artists of the same time, composer Joe Hisiashi, and lyrics then, the next page. More lyrics. Once in a while, let's talk about the old days. So just, I mean, it's just beautiful packaging. And, you know, sometimes you just got to have, physical packaging does make a difference, folks. I know MP3s are nice and downloading is convenient, but I still have a place in my heart for physical packages. And some of you might too. So that's Porco Rosso. Now my favorite, oh yes, Princess Mononoke. Just grabs you as soon as you see it. You're like, oh yeah, I need to go watch that again. I'll probably be doing that sometime in the next few days. And then you take it out and it's like, oh yeah, the night god guy. I forgot his name. Forgive me. So I've been showing you the backs of these, but just look at Princess Mononoke back. That'll take care of it. Let's look at the liner notes. Again, beautiful artwork. Track listing, just really vibrant, well printed, very colorful. Here we have, it looks like just a write-up about the film itself. Of course, Princess Mononoke was released in 1997, quite some time ago. And you know what? Here's some lyrics to the Mononoke Hime, the theme song. And then we have a write-up about, called The Work of Joe Hisiashi by Yoichi Shibuya, and who was, I believe, a DJ in Japan, a famous DJ. So an interesting write-up there. And there was something that I noticed about this particular release in the track listing from the version that I've had since '97. Let me show you the track list. This release has 33 tracks, and the Milan release, let me grab that one. The Milan release, which probably most of you are familiar with, which was released in '97, only has 32 tracks. So I kind of noticed that, and I was like, what's that all about? And as I looked, I could see that there is one more track on this new release, and it's track 20, and it's Princess Mononoke with vocals. Again, it's the Mononoke Hime vocal, but it's a longer version than the version you find at the end, and the end version is included on this new release as well. It's also called Princess Mononoke Theme Song. That one's only about 1 minute and 20 some seconds, and this track 20 of the new release is like 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. So it's it's different, a little different arrangement, longer version. So you do get something different if you only have the 97 Milan release. So that is Princess Mononoke. And so we will look at the last release that I could find. If Ponyo's out there, someone tell me. Post a link to it in the comments here. And I would like to have this complete series. So Spirited Away, a beloved film, 2001, from Joe Hisiashi and Hayao Miyazaki. Just beautiful, beautiful artwork. Kind of has this pinkish, salmony color theme. So this one stands out too. Orange blossomy, cherry blossomy kind of theme. Just beautiful artwork. Again, track listing. Here we get a breakdown of characters, that's unique to all the liner notes that we've looked at so far. And then again, always with me, the lyrics from that particular song. So there you have it. It's the 7 that I could find releases from the Studio Ghibli Classics series. I hope you enjoyed this unwrapping, as it were. Again, they're available from Wasabi Records. I will put links so you can purchase them if you like. Great releases. Like I said, I've only listened to Nausicaa at this point, but it was just beautiful to listen to on CD, and to be able to read through the notes as I listened. And I hope they release more. And I look forward to maybe getting the rest of Miyazaki-san and Aishi-san's collaborative works, Ponyo, The Wind Rises, all together in this series. So thanks for checking out this unwrapping. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, just hit the little likey-like thing. And if you have a question or a thought about these, or if you own them, or if you know if Ponyo's coming out, post something in the comments. Let us know. Share the knowledge. Share the wealth. So until our next unwrapping, I want to thank you again. And I want to say, may the notes be with you.